Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. I'm here not for an unboxing but a walkthrough of a deck that I want to show you for two reasons. One is that I love it. I love it because the art is beautiful, and I loved it from the first time I saw it online, and for the year to year and a half that I hemmed and I hawed and thought, should I buy it, should I not? And then I decided to buy the thing, and I got it. And I love it even more. The second reason I wanted to show it to you is it is a limited print deck. It has been a limited print deck for several years, but it looks like the numbers are dwindling. There are probably less than 100 left. So if you want to get this deck, if you look at it, you like it, you want to get this deck, I would suggest ordering it fairly soon. Yeah, the deck is called Oculi Occultati. It is by a Polish creator. I believe it's sold in England though. And it's wonderful. Oculi Occultati, in Latin, it means concealed eyes or hidden eyes. It's eyes that are hidden or concealed. So I'll turn the camera down and we will look at this together. It's really gorgeous. Stick around and take a look. So friends, here we are with the Oculi Occultati Tarot. And as you can see, it is in a tuck box, which is not our favorite, is it? But I'm sorry, a deck this beautiful, if it comes in a tuck box, I'm still going to get it. As you can see, I got it. Just fair warning, there are very many men in very unclothed states in this deck. Yeah, genitalia are not present. However, if that bothers you, or female breasts are things that you do not want to see, then maybe you'll want to move on to another video. However, this deck, I believe, in its nudity is sensual rather than sexual, which is what really enticed me about this deck, is the sensuality, the eroticism, the not triple X eroticism of this deck is lovely. And the unique shape of the bodies that this artist created are even more intriguing and attractive to me. Now, body parts are just a little bit oddly sized. So you'll notice that when we take a look at the deck. But first, again, the box is a tuck box. And let me open the baby up. Let's see. It's not that difficult to open. The cardboard is very sturdy, which is wonderful. And I'm missing a card or two here. Let me see. Okay, so this is the card that came with the deck. You can see that this is number 819 of 900. So as I said, there are fewer than 100 left, I believe. It was printed in August 2018. And there are still a few left. So if you see this and you are interested in it, I suggest going to purchase it fairly quickly. Not a big rush. Now, there are still some left. So the Oculi Occultati Tarot of Radomil Boguslwski was published by Scarlet Imprint on 11th August 2018 in a strictly limited edition of 900 hand-numbered decks, of which this is 819 of 900. And we have the date in Roman numerals, the name of the deck, and this is just a proof of validity card, right? Okay, so nice, wonderful to have, but not the point. The point is the deck. And as you can see, this is what the backs of the cards looks like. What do you think? Is it disturbing? Is it intriguing? I find it intriguing. And it's lovely that we can see so much in such a muted image. Now, this is primarily a black and white deck with color additions in the minors. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So, this is the deck. You can see that the cards are very large. If I were to compare it to a standard Rider-Waite-Smith US Games deck, you can see they're very large. So if that bothers you, this is perhaps not the deck for you. However, you could probably trim this, but even trimmed, if you kept the entire image, it would still be larger than a standard US Games Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So you can trim it down, I believe. I'm not going to, because I think this artwork doesn't require a border, but is helped by having a border. So let me flip the cards around and let's take a look at this deck. It is gorgeous. Now, so the majors, whoops, oops, I've lost my fool. I've lost my fool. Just a moment. Let me go find the fool. Okay, so taking the deck out of the box, the fool slipped into a different place. So this is the fool. And you will see that in the majors are all in black and white. Now, is this a deck that is good for a beginner? I'm sorry to say, I do not think so. Because there is no guidebook to go with it. And while it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith system, and you can see the Rider-Waite-Smith images, symbols, the stuff we need, you need to know the Rider-Waite deck in order to read this, because you can see there are no titles, there are no numbers on any of the cards. You really need to know your stuff. So you can see that this is the fool though. Yeah, he's got his bag, he's got his dog. Yeah, he's about to take a leap, a step. He's got a rose here in the background. You'll notice that the feet on the people are larger than one would expect. Yeah, a little bit larger than would probably be anatomically correct. You might think of this as an erotic deck for hobbits, perhaps, but I think the forms are lovely, are beautiful. They're not overly muscled forms. They're slim, but they aren't gym bodies by any means. And there's a simple sexuality to these men in this deck, which I find very attractive. So we've got the fool. And here we have the magician. Look at him. He's clothed, yeah? He's got his table, the coins, the knife for the swords, the cup, the wand. It's all there. The hat's not an lemniscate, but, you know, don't need everything there, do we? No, okay, so I'm sorry. The lemniscate hat is actually from Tarot de Marseille, isn't it? Yeah, there's no lemniscate above his head. But again, we don't need everything. We've got basically what we need, I believe. If you look at the wand is pointing up, this hand is pointing down. You can get the as above, so below feel from this card, I believe. So here we have the High Priestess. Now she is perhaps a little bit more like a Tarot de Marseille High Priestess or Popesse. But we still have the two pillars behind. Yeah, she's got a book on her lap. We've got the moon down here. Yeah, we've got tarot on the book. So you can see I can see the Rider-Waite-Smith High Priestess in this, as well as shadows of the Popesse from Tarot de Marseille. Here we have the Empress. Now, okay, so this Empress might be a little bit difficult because we don't see a lot of abundance around her because it's black and white. We've got a cobweb in the background. So there is a darkness to this deck, which is why we have eyes, concealed eyes or hidden eyes. Yeah, also eyes in the shadows, perhaps. Now, we do have that beast from the shield here in the background. But I can see Empress in here. We've got the crown of stars. That's there. Here we have the Emperor. I love the apple in his hand. We've got ram's horns here. We've got the eagle from the shield. He's sitting. You'll notice that, oh, they are not facing each other. That's too bad. But again, this artist's interpretation is this artist's interpretation, and I think it will read beautifully. Yeah, we've got a very, very stern-looking emperor, which many people see in the emperor. Again, we've got the ram's horns. I think we can see what we really need. I can tell that this is the emperor, even out of order. Here we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant. We don't have the acolytes, but we have the keys. Yeah, we've got the blessing gesture. We've got the papal crown. We've got the cross that we expect. Very easy to see that this is the Hierophant. However, it's interesting that there's a moon here, which to me will also echo the High Priestess. Yeah, the High Priestess moon and this moon. To me, they give a very nice balance. And we have the pillars behind. Here we have the lovers. We see two female lovers, which is interesting for a deck which is mostly male. But we have two female-looking bodies here in the lovers card. This, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. This to me looks like there's a third leg, but not really a leg. I'm not sure what this is. We've got kind of a cherub-looking creature up here. We've got another figure here, which echoes the Marseille deck. The Marseille deck has two women and one man, right? In the Marseille deck, the man is apparently choosing between the two women, or one woman is pushing this man or moving this man to the other woman. In this one, we've got the man turned around and looking away, and the two women are interested in each other, which I think is a very interesting take. Here we go with the Chariot. So we have human faces on the, what do we call those things? The name isn't coming to me. The lions with the wings and, okay, I'll put the name below. The word isn't coming to me. So we have them, the black one, the white one. We have the charioteer up and back, holding what looks like a horn to me. Yeah, this chariot is not covered. It's a much more open chariot, and the wheels look much more able to move. But we do see that the two creatures are moving in opposite directions, which I like to have in a chariot card. Okay, moving on. Here we have strength. Now, you'll notice, again, these cards are not numbered. So, if you want strength at 11, it can be 11. If you want strength at 8, it can be 8. It's your choice. I love how friendly these two are. Yeah, the woman and the lion are both in a very comfortable union. You can see that the lion's tail is curled around affectionately with the woman. But the woman is in charge, in a little bit more in charge. Yeah, I love that she has a staff of power as well. We don't have a lemniscate above her head. That's okay. Here we have the hermit. The hermit. We got the lamp with the light shining out. I love this hermit's wizened face. And I love the crook at the top of his staff here. Now, we don't have a mountain clearly indicated, but one could read the line work as somewhat mountainous, I suppose. But clearly, in the dark, with light, looking. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and it's a very close-up wheel, yes? Here's the wheel. We don't see the whole thing, but we do see three beings around the wheel. One, a very masculine-looking wolf-headed creature, yeah? One, a more human-looking, perhaps male creature, and one human-looking female creature. And notice the hands on this female creature look like they have lion's paws, right? Which the Sphinx, that's the word I was looking for, gives us a little bit of that Sphinx feel to her. Yeah, she has a little bit more human to her than a standard Sphinx, but you get that feel to her. And there's a little lion's tail there. See, even though this deck is black and white, there's so much gray tone shadow. It's beautiful, it's deep, it's intense, and there's also a softness to it as well. So justice, we've got the scales, we've got the sword, we have everything we need. Yeah. She's looking down, which is interesting. And does she look seated to you? She looks seated to me. But her knee is not affecting the balance here. Although it's interesting that, doesn't it look like the balance here, the cord for the balance is woven between her fingers. So she has the ability to control those scales, doesn't she? Okay, this is something I had just noticed. There is a small copyright down here at the bottom, which I wish it weren't there, but I hadn't honestly noticed it until now. Okay, so here we go with the Hanged Man. I love this Hanged Man. Yeah, the hands are behind the back, but is he bound? Are they there for comfort because he wants them to be there? We don't know. There's no rope tying him up. I love the legs on this man. I love the male figures in this deck. I love all of the figures, honestly. I love the pantaloons on him as well. And the hair dangling down. Beautiful. And here we go with Death. Now we've got the scythe. We've got the flag with the flower there. We've got the horse. We don't see other beings like the bishop or the king or the child, but that's okay. Yeah, I like this zoomed in feel. A little bit like the Mary Greer, maybe. Okay, moving on to Temperance. Here we go with Temperance. A seated Temperance, right? But we've got the 2 cups with the fluid going from one cup to the other. This Temperance figure looks very meditative. Yeah, and 1 foot in the water again, 1 foot on land. We don't get anything here at the chest, but that's okay. I like having a deck, personally, with so many decks going very female, not feminine, but female in figure. I like this deck having a more male in figure representation. Because we need some decks like this, I believe, for balance. I'm not saying all decks need to be like this, just like I'm not saying that all decks should be more female figure either. We need both, and we need in between. We need the spectrum. And this is a nice male figured deck to me. Not overly sexualized. And here we have the devil. Look at the hands on this devil. Yeah, a very sexy, sexual looking devil. The imps below. Look at the hair. Yeah, the 1 in the center, the 2 on the sides. Looking very interestingly sprite-like, perhaps, imp-like, perhaps, I don't know. I love the horns on this devil and the wings. Look at those wings. Okay, moving on to the tower. Now this tower, honestly, is a little difficult for me to remember. Yeah, when I was putting the deck back in order, I had to put the trumps in order for me to find which card this was, frankly speaking. However, if you do notice, there is lightning coming down. There is fire coming up. We can see structure around this figure. Now, look at this face in agony, this spider coming down. It's full of images, symbols, diverse ideas, diverse concepts in this card, this deck will take contemplation. This will not be a deck that is quick reading, I believe. But I like having a deck like this that draws me in and asks me to sit with the cards. So here we have the star. The star, definitely a female figure. So while we had a male figure in Temperance, we have a female figure here. And we have foot on land, foot in water. We've got 1 pot pouring into water, 1 pouring onto land. We've got the stars, a beautiful form, a beautiful face, beautiful figure. And not model body, but not large body either. I mean, we don't have much size diversity here. We don't have much age diversity here. But this is definitely not what we would think of as a model body. Yeah, this is a normal, average person's not too fat, not too thin body. Yeah, a very, very typical human body to me. Here we have the Moon card with no humans, as usual. There aren't any buildings. Yeah, we don't get the two towers, but we do get the two different dogs. One clearly a wolf, one clearly a dog. And we have the lobster coming out from the water and the moon in the background. Love the energy coming off of this moon as well. Beautiful card. I love that they're looking at the crustacean, the lobster, and the lobster is looking at them. Now there's a lot of interesting interaction here. This dog looks kind of sad, doesn't he? This wolf looks a little bit more intrigued, inquisitive to me. What do you think? How do they look to you? Let's go to the sun. And here we have, now if you want to call babies on horses creepy babies, this baby is definitely creepy. Yeah, but this baby is, I believe, intentionally creepy to match the style of this deck. I love the horse. I love the mottled whiteness of this horse. And here we have the sun. Look at the face on this sun. Not in the sun, but a spirit coming from the sun, radiating on this baby, on the horse. We don't get the flag. At least I don't see a flag. We do get a flower here. Can you see that? There is a flower that could be a sunflower here. So we've got a lot of the symbols here, if you're willing to sit and go into the image. And here we have judgment. Yeah, we've got the angel being the most important figure. Yeah, blowing this immense horn with the wings. Now, is this angel male? Is it female? Not important. Here we have the figures being called from, we assume, the grave. It's lovely. And look how this circle in the horn becomes reminiscent of the Wheel of Fortune, doesn't it? Yeah, let me pull out the Wheel of Fortune just briefly so that we get a feel for that. Whoa, nope, that's not the wheel. That's not the wheel. Here's the wheel. Yeah, we get an echo of the Wheel of Fortune in this here to me, which I think is interesting, an interesting addition to the Judgment card. Because judgment, waking up, living, going back to sleep, waking up, that's a cycle, right? Okay, so here we go with the World card. I love this World card. I love him. He's got his wreath-like thing. Although this wreath is actually a creature, yeah? Looks like a dragon's head. Here we have the lion, we have the bull, we have the eagle, and we have a baby angel, a very, very sweet-looking baby angel, which is surprising for this deck. Yeah? This little corner of cuteness is lovely. And this man is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I like this. I like the feet. I like the legs. I like this slimness to him. Not a gym body, not overly muscular, but muscle and slim. And here we have the aces. Now, the Ace of Wands. Now, when I said color, a splash of color, each of the suits now will have its own color. So the wands are yellow, and here we have the Ace of Wands and a little sprite being here, which I loved. I loved the little tail. Looking contemplative, looking at, what is this thing? What is that? What is that growing in me? Here we have the Two of Wands, yeah? We get the guy holding the globe with the two wands here. If you know the Rider-Waite-Smith system, you know what this is. You can see what this is. But again, you need to know the system very, very clearly. It's got to be in your head for you to see this, I believe. And here we have the Three of Wands. Now, we don't see ships in the distance, but we got the three wands. He's got one hand on the wand. Cute butt. I like the ears on him. You know, we got the three wands. I've got what I need. Here we have the Four of Wands. And here we have the male couple. Yeah. Now, sometimes this is read as a marriage card. So where there were women in the Lovers card, there are two men here, which I like. I love the flower wreaths. And you see the genitalia are covered up by very, very small leaves with very, very large feet, which is interesting. But we do get this kind of canopy feel as well. Yeah, yellow, a kind of fiery color, right? Here we have the Five of Wands, competition. Now, the men are much more muscular in look than the women in this deck. Probably because the creator is much more interested in that, which I like too. But they're not overly muscular. They're not, to me, gym bodies, yeah? They are bodies who have worked and are lean, and probably maybe because of limited food, who knows? But yes, Five of Wands, we've got competition. I like that this guy is here on the ground. This guy is here looking at him. Not everybody is in the competition. And it looks like the competition is not fighting between them, but perhaps showing off a little bit. Looking a little bit more playful, perhaps, a little bit more fun. Here we have the Six of Wands, yeah? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got to look for those wands, but they're there. Yeah, we got a guy. One of the wands is the horse that he's riding on. We got the laurel. We got people here, we assume cheering him on, but they don't look very cheerful, do they? A very somber deck. Here we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, interesting. Look at the different boots. Yeah, there is that in the Rider-Waite deck. So here we have the different boot shoe, which is cool. Yeah, we've got Seven Wands. We've got 6 from below, 1 above. He looks like he's defending his position. And here we have the Eight of Wands, which is funny. I'm sorry, to me this is funny. Yeah, each of the wands has a little head attached to it. Which way do you think are these wands going? Are they coming down or are they going up to the left? And we notice that it looks like the same face, doesn't it, on each of these beings. Okay, here we have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, we have the Wall of Wands behind, one in front. Yeah, there's a little bandage on his head, but he looks fine. Really, he doesn't look the worse for wear. He looks fine. I love the position of this foot. And again, a very, very small leaf. And here we have the Ten of Wands. We've got the burden. Yeah. Yeah. He looks like he's going uphill, which is making his work a little bit more difficult than the person in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. But I love this. Look at the toenails. The details on this deck. Each creature is clearly very different, of course. Love it. And now let's go into the courts. So the pages. The pages are all very similar. Yeah, they're dressed like this. You got the big feet sticking out, the hands a little bit larger. A hat. Their pages, as I recall, are all standing and in courtly attire. Here we have the knight. Now the knights all have creatures with them. Yeah, this knight has an owl with him, or at least a bird, which is interesting because we usually associate birds with air, I believe, but this knight has a bird with him. Yeah, I like the armor. We've got the helmet, looking very dapper to me, and a large wand in his hand. Here we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen's breasts, I believe, are all exposed. Yeah, we've got a collar around her neck, a Spanish lace collar. I love the cat. We've got the cat here. We got a sunflower. We've got mostly what we need if we know the original deck. And here we have the king. Now the kings are, I recall, are all bare-chested. We've got a salamander here for this king. We got the crown, we've got the wand, we've got it all. I love the jewelry on his hands. And the earring. Okay, moving right along. 2 cups. Cups, you can see, are blue, yeah, for water. And here we have a water imp. And we've got the dove with the, looks like a Eucharist to me. Now, remember, Poland is primarily a Catholic country, a Roman Catholic country in Eastern Europe, which is a little bit special. Yeah, Poland and Lithuania, I believe, are both Roman Catholic. So that influence you can see in this deck. Here we have the 2 of cups. Again, now, okay, so are these men? Are they women with very small breasts? You decide. Clearly, if they are men, these are definitely not overly muscularized men. They're not muscular men at all. But they could be, they're probably men. Okay, they're probably men, mermen. We've got the Carduceus. There's a name for that. Tell me in the comments below. Okay, I'm having trouble with my vocabulary today. So here we have the Three of Cups. Three different beings, three different water beings, yeah, holding up their cups. Beautiful. Here we have the Four of Cups, another water being, another mer being. Three cups here, one other being offered. We've got a tree-like thing, but perhaps not a tree, because this is, I believe, supposed to be underwater. But here he is, looking a little bit disappointed, right? Not noticing the one on being offered to the side. Here we have the Five. Yeah, we've got three upturned cups, one of them completely empty. But we have the two standing behind. Now we've got this mer creature looking at the upturned cups, looking disappointed. Here we have the Six of Cups. They are the nostalgia card, right? Here we have the Five, one being offered with the plant. Yeah, each of these have a flower in different stages. Here's a kind of wilted flower. Here's a flower that looks like it hasn't completely come up yet. Here are blossomed flowers. Beautiful deck. A smart deck too. A very smart deck, I believe. Here we have the Seven of Cups. To some, an illusion card. To me, a daydream card. We've got different things in each cup like we expect. Yeah, a mer person here looking at them. Which one do I want? The dragon, the being, the ghost, the castle, the jewel, the skull, the snake. Which one? Which one? And here we have the Eight moving on from... Now, this one cup here looks like it's a little bit bent out of shape, right? But the rest of the cups actually look fine to me, but he's moving on. He's ready to move on. I love the moon here in the sky. Even in this water deck, this water world. And is that a rod? It looks like a walking stick, doesn't it? And here we have the Nine. He looks very satisfied, doesn't he? And we have the Nine Cups. I love the tail coming up in front of us, yeah? This tail being right there in front, being huge, larger than life in some ways. I love the turban on his head. And so, the Ten of Cups. Here we have, okay, what do you want to see? Do you want to see two male figures? Do you want to see two female figures? I think we can see what we want to see in some of these figures, especially in the water cards. And here we have the cups up here in the blue rainbow. Lovely, lovely. Love the gestures here. They look celebratory. Isn't this wonderful? Let's enjoy ourselves together and our relationship and our community. Very quiet faces, but somewhat celebratory bodies. And here we have the Knight, yeah? The Page. In court attire for this suit. Dressed, yeah, look at the fish. We got the fish out of the cup. I love that. Here we have the Knight, yeah? This Knight's armor is a little bit less than the one's armor, right? We've got a bird here, which is interesting in a water card. Here we have this eagle. We've got the cup. We got everything. I love the feet on this guy. Now, you're going to think that I'm into feet. I'm not that into feet, but the feet in this deck I find intriguing and attractive, and they draw me. Okay, so here we go with the... Okay, so I lied. I forgot. Not all of the breasts on the queens are exposed. Queen of Cups. She's covered. Love her hands. Beautiful hands. And I love her throne. Lovely. Look at the water in this cup. And I love her hat. I forget the name for this hat. There is a name for that hat. Okay, moving on to the king. Yes, bare-chested king. I think that part I'm remembering correctly. The chests of the kings are exposed. We got the cup. We got the scepter. Lovely. Okay. We don't get the waves and the ships, but if you know Rider-Waite-Smith, you can read this. Okay, so now this was an interesting choice to me, having red for the swords. I would have thought, I don't know, a different color. I would have said red for the wands and maybe yellow for the swords. But here, the swords are red. And here we have a little imp. And here we have the seated, yeah? Balancing two swords. His eyes are not blindfolded, but we have the moon behind. We got it. Notice the webbing or the netting, the kind of wing-like structures on the arms. I think all of these creatures are going to have wing-like structures on their arms. Here we have the three with the swords through the heart, but we have a being in front of it, looking heartbroken. Notice the little indications of crackedness in the background. Here we have the four, looking very meditative, yeah? Well, or perhaps dead. But we have the three swords on the wall, the one sword below. We got a kind of... is this all his wing? Perhaps this is all his wings. Interesting. Okay, here we have the five, yeah? He's got two swords. He's walking off without any swords, but he looks interested in himself, which is interesting. Now he's flying off. He's looking at his wings, perhaps thinking, okay, I've lost, but can I still fly away? Maybe. And here are two more swords on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's holding 3. I love the red hair. Here we have the 6 of swords, yeah? All of the beings here have wings on their arms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the 6th sword is the oar. Yeah, this could be a female mother. This could be a male child and then a male here. Your choice. Okay, here we have the 7 of swords, getting away with something. I love his stockings. Also going your own way, your own style, your own way of doing things. Yeah, I love the length of his wings. And his hat. Look at that hat. Beautiful. Okay, the 8 of swords. The 8 of swords bound with swords all around. Notice that the hilts are all a little bit different, right? His eyes are not bound. He could open them at any time. He could open them. The string around him doesn't look very strong. He could probably burst that or cut it open with one of the swords around him. So we get what we need to see, I believe, in this deck. Here we have the 9 of swords, yeah? Looking like a nightmare card, awakened from his dreams. Yeah, we got swords on the wall. We got swords everywhere. And again, hilts are not all different, but there are differences. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3 of the hilts are looking like bees, right? Bees, which have stingers, which are like swords. Look at this, looking like what would be a 4-poster bed with a canopy, I suppose, but there are no posts. Just the canopy. Okay, the 10 of swords, all stabby, stabby. But you notice that they're not all in his back, and these swords may not actually be in him. These swords may be behind. This may be between his legs. These may be behind as well. We don't get them actually necessarily stabbing in his back and blood flowing out. Look at the length of his wings. Okay. And it looks like a little spider here to me. Lovely. Okay, here we go with the knight. Page, the page. Now, looking courtly, looking page-like to me. Love the tails of this coat. Love the fit of the pants and the waistcoat. Love the hat, which is flying off, perhaps in the wind. Yeah, we get remember that in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's a sense of wind blowing, right? So we get that wind blowing his hat off. And I love the cuffs on this. The clothes in this deck, the clothes that are here, are beautiful. And look at this knight. Look at the boots. I love the boots. I love the coat. I love his helmet. I love the sword. And this knight has a dolphin. Interesting choice. I'd have to think about that one. Notice that this arm is covered and this one is not. And does it look like he's got pink lips? Perhaps. Okay, here we have the queen. This queen, oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, so this queen has revealed breasts and revealed severed head. So off with her head, kind of like a Queen of Hearts card to me. Yeah, but this queen is definitely, she's doing her own thing and she's in charge, right? She's not the depressed queen, the okay, I've learned from my past kind of queen. She's using her sword and she's getting things done. And when she doesn't like something, she's going to take care of it. We've got the butterfly here. And look at her chair. With all of this pink, she's still able to cut off a head. I love that. I love the makeup on her lips, the lipstick on her lips, and the nail polish. Okay, here we have our king. Exposed chest. I love the stockings and the shoes with the red heels. Yeah, the old invention of heels on shoes. Yeah, was this the red heel? And was red worn by men? This heel is not red. That's interesting, this difference. I wonder why that is. Okay, we got the crown. Lovely, lovely clothes. Looking somewhat French to me. Here we have the pentacles. Okay, pentacles are green for earth, right? I love this little imp here on the ground. So what is, oh, and look at the detail inside of the single pentacle. Well, it's not a pentacle, perhaps, more as a disc, a coin, right? Because we don't get that pentacle shape. Let's call them coins, 2 of coins. This is a very, very hairy guy, isn't it? Look at the hair on those legs. Yeah? And a little bitty leaf. And here we have, he's got the 2 coins that he's juggling. He's got his hat on. We don't get the lemniscate, but that's okay. We get the basic idea. We get what we need. So I think the thing for this suit is hairy legs. Yeah? I don't think we had such hairy legs in the, well, cups were all mer people. Yeah, legs smooth in the swords cards. We had, oh, that's a trump. For the wands, we had smooth legs. For the discs cards, we've got hairy legs. I think that's the special point of the creatures in this deck. We've got 3 people. We got 3 coins. This guy is clearly doing some work. He's got his work apron on. But worker, perhaps court person, perhaps cleric. I can see that in here. The 4 of coins. Okay, so he's greedy and he's protecting more than just his coin, isn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. We got the crown, we got the coin up here. He's holding on to protecting 1 coin and protecting something else as well. Very, very hairy legs. Very, very hairy body all over. Here we have the 5. Yeah? Here we have the church window, or the stained glass window at least, and we got 2 people outside walking away looking a little bit destitute. And this one looking a little bit weak. Bandaged head. Here we have the 6. We've got the 1 guy with the balance near his arm. He's not actually holding it, right? But he is doling out coin to these 2 people who seem to be supplicating in front of him. And here we have the 7. Yeah, we got the coins on the tree. He's got his hoe. He's looking at them, inspecting them, perhaps waiting for the right time to harvest. I've got what I need. Notice the hoe here goes up. I love the shading, the various green colors in this suit. And here we have the 8. We got the guy working on 1 coin, the other coins around him. Yeah? Instead of a house, he's out here on it. There's a tree. And the coins aren't nailed to the tree, but they're around him. Yeah, okay, there's hair on his legs, certainly. He's very concentrating very hard. And here we have the 9. We've got the snail, we've got the falcon, we've got the hat. He's looking very, very satisfied with himself. Yeah, we've got the grapevines. Yeah, these could be very large. Oh, you know, here are the grapes. We actually do have grapes. So these aren't grapes, these are coins. We don't have a wall here, which is fine. And actually, I like not having a wall. But he looks very happy, satisfied with his abundance. Love the feet. I love the way the foot is posed, this leg is posed. And the 10. We've got the old guy, we got the dog, we've got the perhaps couple, maybe. Interesting that there's an axe up here, but we've got 10 coins up here on the wall. He's seated. We can see legacy. We can see estate, perhaps. Isn't this dog interesting? The paws on this dog. And here we have the page of coins. Beautiful, beautiful costume. Love the pantaloons and the leggings. Very easy to see that this is a page, isn't it? And here we have the knight. Now this knight, it was actually difficult for me to see. I will have to memorize this knight because he doesn't look the same kind of knight as the other ones do. I don't see, there is a creature here, but I can't see what it is offhand. Can you see what the creature is? Now, the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles, is often referred to as the slowest knight of the deck. And you can see he is very slow. He is, in fact, immobile. He is lying down, contemplating. So this might be taking it to an extreme. But here is the Knight of Coins. And here we have the Queen of Coins. Her breasts are not exposed. So the exposed breasts were on the two more masculine cards, the suits, or the wands and the swords are often thought of as the more active suits. And in those suits, the queen had her breasts exposed and she is showing it all. Yeah, she's not covering it up at all. The more receptive suits, the cups and the coins, the breasts are covered, which is an interesting thing to remember. I like her rabbit. Yeah, we got the coin up here. We can see vines up here for abundance, the grapes, beautiful queen. And here we have the king with the chest exposed. We got the wand, green lipstick on him, green earrings, I like that. We got grapes up here on the top, beautiful. And look at these huge feet, even in shoes with stockings, the feet on this guy are huge. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that is the Oculi Occultati. So, like I said, this is a big deck. The cardstock is a little bit stiff. It's not horribly thick, but it's a little bit stiff. So shuffling is a little bit difficult, but I will try doing a few shuffles and pulling a card for us. Yeah. So how will I shuffle this deck? Let me show you. I'm going to shuffle it well, let's see. I don't really have that much space here, but I can shuffle it like this, yeah, from the corners. So when I shuffle this deck, this is the way I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'll put it here. I'll do this. I'll put the corners together, and I will shuffle, and then bring them together. So the question is, what do we want? What is a message for us today, at this moment, as we watch this video? What is a message that will be beneficial for us? What is something that we can put our attention to this day? So let me cut the deck and let me try overhand shuffling for you, just so you get a sense. Because again, I have large hands, yeah? And so I can do this like this. And it's okay. Yeah, the cards don't go flying off. They've got just enough traction so that they don't slip around, but they don't clump either. So that's nice. Yeah? if there's a matte finish to these decks, to this deck that is just matte enough for it not to go sliding around when you overhand shuffle. So that's also an option. So what is a message for us for today on this time, at this time that we are watching this video? And what do we get? We get change. Okay, so remember, the death card is not necessarily death. This is our time for transformation. This is a time for change, for clearing away things. And it's interesting because we just went through a new moon at the time of this filming. So the new moon is a time when we clear out the old and we get ready for new creation. So that is a good message for us. Yeah, get ready for some change. We could all use some change, I believe. So friends, again, if you're interested in this deck, I suggest going and getting it soon, because I believe this is a beautiful deck. It's got just enough color to give it interest and feels, as they say, but really it's a black and white deck with a lot of depth and we'll ask you to sit with it, to look at it, to gaze into it, to discover more. And so friends, I'd like to hear what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me in the comments below. And hit the like button if you feel called to. Subscribe to this channel if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the alarm bell so you get notification of when I upload videos. I usually upload about once a week. And again, comment below, share with people who might be interested in this deck. This is a beautiful deck, and I don't think it's gotten enough love. So, friends, go get this deck if you like large decks. And again, you can trim it, like I said, but even if you trim it, it's going to be larger than a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So just be aware. And friends, now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.